Now, the last topic here is we're going to graph inequalities. Now we're dealing with two variables. So this is slightly different. The one before, we just had x squares. Now we have the y involved. So with this one, what we are going to do is we just graph this parabola, and then we do the broken line and all that. So we know how to graph, because we've done the vertex stuff in Learning Guide 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's find the vertex. Well, the vertex, remember, it's the opposite of that, so it's 3 and then that number. So 1, 2, 3, 1. So there's the vertex. Now, we could just do a sketch. Okay, we could, if we wanted to, just find the y-intercept by plugging in a 0 there, but it's going to be a huge number. It's going to be 18. It's way down here somewhere. So let's just do a nice light sketch. Now, I don't actually make the broken line yet until I look at the question. So now I look at this. This tells me right here it's broken. So I just take my eraser and break the line up. So I have a nice broken line. Now the shading. This is pretty darn easy, the shading. You always stand at the vertex. That's the point the shading will start from. And this is greater than, so you stand there and shade up. And then you can see it, everything now is shaded on the outside of the parabola. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Okay, now is this point right here a solution? So I plotted it on there, and I got an answer of no. If you don't want to do that, you can substitute it in like we did earlier, and you can get the same result. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, so let's go find the vertex. Well, the vertex is the opposite of that, so it's 4 and -2. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So there's the vertex. Now, is it happy or is it sad? Well, we know it's positive there, so we look at the front here. It's a positive because we have 1 there. Now, to get the sketch, because there's no number there, it's really a 1. Because once you plot the 4 and -2, you're basically left with this. And that's what we call a basic parabola. So it's over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4, over 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so on. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on and so on. Okay, so I'll just draw it really light, and then we'll figure out if it's broken or not broken. So there's my line of that parabola. Okay, now let's take a look at the inequality sign. What do we got there? Well, we have a broken line. So now I just break the line up. Okay. So there's my parabola all broken up. Now, where am I going to shade? Well, we stand at the vertex, and we have greater than, so I go upwards. So it's everything, it's everything that is in between the parabola. Now, go over 2, down, up 1, it's right there, and it's, no. Well, we can tell using algebra. Let's go 1, that's your y, that's your x. So 1 is greater than, let's see what this works out to. It's -2. That's 4. That's 2. And 1 is not greater than 2. So it's no. Now, write an inequality from the picture. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to find the vertex. Okay, we've got to find the vertex. Well, the vertex is the highest or lowest point. We've done that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1. So it's negative 3, 1. So that's pretty easy. Then we have to pick a point. Well, they'll generally give you a point. So that's negative 2, negative 5. Now, with those vertex and point, we can get the A out of that. The A is important. So we've done this in earlier guides. So we just plug in all our values that we know, do our algebra, and we get that. So now we go back to our standard formula vertex, which is on your formula sheet. You don't have to memorize it. It's on that formula sheet that helps you figure out what A is. So now we put the A in. We have to leave the X and the Y in because every equation needs an X and Y. And there's our vertex. Now we know this is going to get taken out because we're not doing equals anymore. We're doing inequalities. So we look at the graph. Is it broken or is it solid? Well, this one is broken. So we either have a less than or a greater than. So now we do the shading. So we stand there. Is the shading going down or is it going up? It's going down. So it's a less than sign. So we put the less than sign in, and there is our solution. So here's a try one you can do. So let's find the vertex. So 1, 2. So the vertex is negative 2, excuse me, negative 1. Okay, let's get a point. And it's 1 over 2 up. Let's go to our formula. So there's our standard form for the parabola. Let's substitute what we know. Remember, this is the P, this is the Q, this is the X, this is the Y. So we have 2 equals, we don't know what A is, we're going to solve for it. 1 minus, so it becomes plus 2, and Q is minus 1. All right, so that becomes 9A for me. So 9A minus 1 equals 2. Move that over, so it's 3 equals 9A. Divide by 9, divide by 9. So A equals 1/3. Okay, so now we have Y equals 1/3 X plus 2 squared minus 1. Now we know this sign is going to get taken out. What are we going to put in? Well, we stand at the vertex, and we're going upwards, so it's greater than. And it's got a solid line, so it's got to be equal. So we have our answer. All right. And that's the end.